Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Aradhya Achuri, fertility and wellness specialist.
Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Satyanarayana Garre. I'm a consultant nephrologist and transplant physician.
Protein supplements, fertility supplements, gym diets, there is so much more extra that everybody is taking today. But is more always better? What are all these supplements doing to our kidneys and fertility? Please share your view.
More is never better. Moderation is the key. Coming to the supplements, when we look at the supplements per se, what kind of supplements we are taking is very important. For example, you're going to the gym, you're taking a creatine supplements, bad. You're going to the gym, you're taking some amount of protein supplements, moderately okay. And you're replacing the protein supplements with the natural proteins, I'm very happy with that. So more is not good. Moderation is the key. And we should always stick to the basics. Keep your protein source or supplemental source from natural sources like your food and your other animal protein or plant protein, and your supplements from your vegetables and your green leafy vegetables and your nuts and all those things.
So now we are seeing that there's a very good improvement in lifestyle. Many people are preferring to go to gyms. There are many software companies which are motivating their staff to work out. They are giving them free passes and all. So when they go to these gyms, there are trainers available and they advise certain diets and supplements. So now I want to ask you, like, if they are being advised to take a particular diet and supplements, there are so many options available online, Amazon, stores, everywhere. How do they choose a good supplement?
You should not classify everything in one basket. That's the first thing. Not all supplements are same. So, as a nephrologist, I see many young people who come to my OPD with elevated creatinine. But when you remove the basket and then look at the supplements per se, there are three kinds of supplements basically. One is the protein powder, and you have different kinds of protein powder, out of which the whey protein is the best you can have. This is a naturalized protein you can have. I'm not watching for whey protein, but that's the best you can have. The second thing is the creatinine supplements, which is not good at all unless you're going for a bodybuilding competition or you're a professional bodybuilder. Otherwise, I don't suggest creatine supplements. The third thing is the worst, that is anabolic steroids. These three kinds of supplements is generally advised by these trainers and all without proper knowledge. And out of this, the best supplement you can have is a protein supplements. The question is how much and what kind of protein. How much is very important because you should not take more than 1 gram per kg of protein. If you're really enthusiastic and if you want to build muscle and all, you can go up to 1.2, at the maximum 1.5, not more than that, grams per kg. So you have to calculate your protein and don't rely entirely on the supplements to get that protein. You have to rely on your natural source of protein, like you get some protein from your food, mostly your animal protein, and try to include plant protein. I'm telling you, plant protein is the best you can have. The best protein you can have is the plant protein. It is easy on your intestines, it's easy on your organs, especially kidney. So plant protein, and whey protein comes under plant protein, by the way. So the supplemental protein, yes, whey protein is one thing which you can definitely take, but definitely no for creatinine and a big no for anabolic steroids. The next question is the diet. Again, diet is what kind of diet you're looking at. You have to calculate your calories, you have to calculate your carbs, and you calculate your protein. So if you're really into bodybuilding and if you're really into weight loss, decrease your carbs, decrease your fats, increase your protein, and make sure that your protein comes from the natural source.
So, do you think everybody who goes to the gym requires to take some supplements? Like, what if I just want to go do treadmill for half an hour and come back? Do you still think I need these supplements?
So again, let's not basket them into one thing. Supplements, again, you need some supplements in the form of vitamins and all those things. Your vitamin D you're taking, this is supplement. B12 you're taking, that comes under supplements. So again, when you go to the gym, you don't need to take supplements. Everybody who goes to gym doesn't require supplements. People who are targeting weight loss doesn't need high amount of supplements. They're just doing cardio, using treadmill and coming. You don't need much of this creatine and all those things. You can take good amount of vitamins and good amount of protein. You can stop it there. The person who's going for a bodybuilding, his perspective is different. He wants to build muscle and all. Those people generally tend towards taking creatinine and anabolic steroids and all those things. Again, for well-being, for well-being, if you want to take supplements, yes, I do encourage them to take supplements in the form of vitamins and other things. And but if you want to go very fancy, then that is where I think we should. That's a red flag for me. On the other hand, when people come in to walk into my OP, I also see young girls like the teens and mid 20s and 30s. They're saying that they have PCOS, they're struggling to lose weight, so they go to the gym and take supplements, which are what kind of supplements do you take, and do you think what kind of effect they have on their health? And do you personally, in your routine practice, do you prescribe any supplements and all those things?
So, many people with PCOS, when they're trying to lose weight and they see a dietitian, they're usually advised some protein supplement at one point of the day, either in the morning or in the dinner. They're asked to take this just one glass with this protein powder, 1 or 2 scoops, and skip that meal. So I have seen this very commonly. Many people do it. It does absolutely nothing to your health. It basically increases your cravings, doesn't help with weight loss, and this protein is not really going to help with fertility as well. Whenever you are following a diet, make sure you're consistent with the diet. Using these protein supplements in one meal and then hoping that it will help in weight loss really doesn't work. You need to have a consistent meal. This meal plan should actually align with your regular diet. Only then you can be consistent with your diet. Make sure you are taking multiple meals, small meals, so that you don't have cravings and you don't do binge eating. I always tell my patients, you always go for natural sources of protein. People are scared to eat eggs. They always think egg will create heat in the body and that will, harm the eggs or the sperms, which is definitely not right. That is 100% false. Eggs are the best protein source that I can suggest my patients. What do you say? Do you agree with that?
As I told you, I vote for plant-based proteins. Egg-based protein also is somewhere come somewhere in between. And as I said, and I completely agree with you, moderation is the key. Don't overdo it, because either this extent or that extent, both are bad. So when you're somewhere in the middle, that balance is very important. Don't go for like fasting for 48 hours and 76 hours and then eating meal and saying that your body is going to ketosis. You can't keep up with that kind of diet. So what is important is take a balanced diet, and nothing comes like a single handedly. You can't reduce your weight and get rid of everything with diet only. You can't exercise for so many hours and then don't forget your diet and then expect the results. So it has to be a balanced approach. It has to be diet and then regular exercise, and consistency is the key. Moderation is the key.
So, if somebody wants to rely on eggs for protein source, how many eggs can they consume in a day?
I always tell my patients there's so many apps now where you can log your food and then count your macros and micros. So if you're really into this kind of, I want to take protein and all those things, use those apps, count your macros and micros. I already told you 1.5 grams, 1 gram per kg is what is advised. And if you're really into, uh, beef up or, build a muscle, you can go up to maximum 1.5 with caution, with good hydration, and make sure your protein is coming from a good source and natural protein, and not don't to rely too much on these artificial proteins.
So, why we are talking about supplements, I think it is very important to even talk about herbal supplements. Now, everybody wants to have only natural things. No, we don't want allopathy. We want only herbal supplements. What is your view on that? How many patients do you see regularly who take these herbal supplements and land up in trouble?
The first thing is I'm not against any supplements, especially these so-called herbal supplements, because um, something which is natural, if I say something against, they might feel bad. But the thing you have to understand is that what is going into that and who is certifying that this is 100% herbal supplement is the question. Now, many of these, indigenous medications or herbal supplements have a lot of heavy metals in it, which I'm sure will affect the fertility as well. But again, it do affect kidneys, bone marrow, your blood counts might come down, your kidneys might get affected, and all those things. So my suggestion is that uh, which the herbal supplements or herbal things which you are preparing at home, you can definitely take, like your barley water, or you take this sprouts and other things which you can definitely take. But if you're buying from stores, one question you have to ask yourself, what is going into it, and is it 100% herbal, and is it certified or not? So without knowing anything, how can you take it is the question.
So basically, you are saying herbal supplements are safe as long as it is being monitored and somebody is checking the quality, they are making sure there are no heavy metals in them. Am I right?
Kind of, but again, many of these preparations do contain heavy metals.
So even for us, when we see patients who have taken herbal supplements, they have gone to their hometown, their parents or elders or neighbors have suggested some herbal supplements and they have taken it from some local vendors. I have seen people whose periods have completely stopped. I have seen people whose AMH, the ovarian reserve, has drastically dropped. So knowing your source, as Sir has kindly told us, knowing what is going inside it, making sure there are not heavy metals in it, matters for men and women. It matters for your fertility, it matters for your kidney health as well. We don't want them to take supplements, but now can you tell us what are good sources of protein which men and women alike can take when they are planning pregnancy?
When they have planned pregnancy, I think you should tell. But generally, what I'll suggest to anybody is there's a lot of research and there's a lot of material available on something called as gut dysbiosis. So what it means, gut dysbiosis means there is generally certain amount of bacteria which is naturally present in your gut. Okay. So these are, you can divide roughly to, for the understanding of the audience, I'm telling you two bacteria, good bacteria and bad bacteria. So when you eat too much protein, especially animal source protein, especially red meat, and when you get recurrent infections in the tummy because of eating unhygienic food and unnecessary supplements, what happens is the bad bacteria goes up, the good bacteria comes down. Now this increases something called as inflammation in the body. Once there is inflammation in the body, it affects each and every organ. Nothing is spared, I'm telling you. So it includes brain, it includes heart, it includes your fertility, it includes your kidney, everything. Now, how do we decrease the bad bacteria? How do we increase the good bacteria? There's no rocket science in this. Only thing is eat good plant-based diet, increase your fiber. Once you start eating plant-based food, your good bacteria starts going up. Once you start eating your curd, your other things, probiotic kind of things, which is naturally available in your day-to-day kitchen, your good bacteria goes up. Once the good bacteria goes up, the inflammation in the body will come down, and the repercussion of that is seen as a positive repercussion, I would say, seen in all other organs. And that is how I would suggest is take good amount of fiber, good amount of vegetables. Vegetables are very good in micronutrients, and now there's a lot of emphasis on this what do you say, millets. Okay, so that is a very good thing which we were actually initially doing. After that, we stopped doing it. Like, we were when our forefathers were all eating millets, we stopped eating them. And again, there's resurgence of these millets. I'm very happy to see many of my patients going back to millets. I'm seeing very good results, and um, generally in my practice, when I see people who have shifted their diet, they have very slow progression of the kidney disease. The general health is also being very good.
So taking good amount of fiber is not just for your gut dysbiosis, but also works really well when you have insulin resistance and you are in pre-diabetic range. This high fiber content in your diet helps better absorption of your food, reduces your sugar levels as well. Many of us keep track of how much protein we take, but nobody even looks at the fiber. Keeping a track of fiber and taking adequate amount of fiber in your diet helps in every way. Many of my patients tell me they just have a very good lifestyle, but they just have occasional smoking and occasional alcohol, which is only on the weekend. They just take 3 or 4 pegs of whiskey and maybe 2 or 3 smokes when they just drink. What do you think about this? What about this weekend alcohol and smoking thing?
Okay, for disclaimers, no alcohol, no smoking. If you can completely avoid it, it's really good. Smoking is a big no, either on weekends or weekdays or nothing. Smoking is a big no for any situation.
Same for us. I tell everybody smoking is the biggest sperm killer. If there is one thing you can do to damage your fertility, smoke.
The second thing is alcohol. Uh, Occasional alcohol intake is socially acceptable, but I'm not promoting alcohol intake. When it comes to my patients, it's a strict no, especially people with advanced kidney disease, strict no. Early kidney disease who are already taking alcohol, I encourage them to decrease the frequency of intake of alcohol, because when you start avoiding completely and suddenly, it will be a big impact on their mental health as well. So what you have to do is should slowly move away from alcohol. That's what your my advice would be to my patients. But in generally also, when you look at the lifestyle, the current lifestyle, when what I see in many young people who come to me was most of them are overweight or obese, most of them are drinking, most of them are smoking. The intake of non-vegetarian protein is quite high, which is bad. Most of them are not exercising. Most of them are doing sedentary jobs. I have at least 10 to 12 reasons to say that you're an unhealthy person. So what can you do? That's only certain things you can change. Your genetics you can't change. What you can change is your habits, out of which the first thing is quit smoking. Please stay away from smoking as much as possible. Alcohol, if you can move away from alcohol slowly, I'll be very happy. Third thing is your diet. Have a healthy diet. Exercise at least daily or at least 4 to 5 days a week. And if you're drinking alcohol, the acceptable alcohol intake is what they say is at least 2 to 3 standard drinks per week for men, and 1 to 2 standard drinks per week uh, for women. Again, the standards are established on the fact that we can't make you stop drinking alcohol, so that at least drink less so that you'll be more healthy.
So if they want to drink, what would you say is safer? A beer, whiskey, rum, brandy. Is there any difference between the type of alcohol, brand of alcohol? In what way does it matter to the kidney?
Drowning in river or well or pond doesn't make any difference. Drowning is drowning, like this. Similarly, drinking is drinking. Again, what you drink is mostly a personal choice, but everything has a limit. If you're drinking whiskey, there's certain limit set. If you're drinking beers, you have certain limit set. And if you're drinking wine, which is relatively better when compared to beer and whiskeys and other hard liquors, I would say, that is little better. So everything has its own standard. So when I say 2 to 3 standard drinks, that's mostly applicable for whiskey. If you talk about beer, again, it will be given in mls. I don't outright remember the amount of alcohol you need to drink. Again, for wine, it is different, and your hard liquors like vodka and other things are little different.
So for us, definitely when you're planning pregnancy, quit smoking and alcohol both. It is definitely applicable to both men and women. Either way, if you're planning, you should quit this both. Occasional for us, which is okay, is maybe once in a month or twice. It is not once in a week or twice in a week. So we usually advise all our couples, whoever is planning pregnancy, to work out regularly, have a healthy lifestyle, eat better, sleep for at least 8 hours a day. So this couple was very good with following the advice, that started going to a gym. They got a trainer, in fact, and the trainer has given them certain diet and supplements. So they have been using that, doing it for the past 45 days. Now suddenly he has seen foamy urine when he has passed urine. So he was very worried and stressed, and he had come back to me and said that no, this is what I'm seeing in the urine when I passed urine yesterday. So, is there any symptom sign that people who are using these supplements and diet have to look for?
So unfortunately, what happens is that, especially in when you come to the kidney disease, many times kidney disease will not show any symptoms until it's very late. That's very unfortunate, but that's truth. Second thing is, generally in this context, when you're talking about someone who's going to gym and taking supplements, how do we identify them early is the question. So what generally I advise to these people who go to gym and take supplements is that get your kidney function checked frequently. That could be once in a month or once in 2 months or once in 3 months, based on your how much amount of supplements you're taking in. Even before that, what you should do is, when you're taking especially this creatine supplements and all, you should try to keep good hydration status. Okay. And when you come to the science per se, they should look at when something is happening to the kidney is generally, as you said, foam in the urine and swelling in the in the legs, early morning facial swelling. And when creatine goes a little more higher, they'll have this symptoms called uremic symptoms, where they'll not feel, they'll have loss of appetite, they'll have nausea and all those things. So these are symptoms of the kidney disease, but they appear very late. Don't rely for these symptoms for early rise in creatine. For example, you have a normal creatine today, and you've taken some supplements, your kidney has temporarily gone down, and your creatine went up to 1.5. You not get any of these symptoms. For this to develop, it will take a lot of time. By the time these symptoms develop, the kidney is almost damaged.
So do you think people should check their blood tests, look at their creatinine before they start the supplements?
Ideally, if you're taking supplements, I would suggest this again, this especially this creatine supplements and steroid supplements and all those things. If you're starting, it will be a very good thing to check your baseline kidney functions, and also if you can follow it up with regular kidney functions, it will be really good. Because I have my junior who started working out and then started taking the supplements, and suddenly he called me one day saying that, sir, I've taken supplements, my creatine went up to 1.8. What should I do now? Now, this happened only because he's educated and he's knowledgeable about the thing that you should check your kidney functions when you're taking supplements. So immediately we stopped the supplements, given some protective medications, and within 2 to 3 weeks, the creatine came down to normal. Now, this happens only when you know that the supplements can harm your kidney. If you don't, then
You don't realize that until it's too late.
no.
For women, is there any difference in the supplements or different in the amount of protein they need to take? Or men and women, it's the same 1
No,
gram per kg body weight?
protein intake is same 1 gram per kg body weight. The second thing, especially when the gender difference comes into picture, is that the tolerance level of women to high protein intake is little less. What happens is that when you come to the kidney health, especially the kidney size, the kidney functionality depend in proportion to your body size. For example, you have a 5 feet, 5'2" or 5'3" woman, and you have a 6 feet man. Both will not have the same size of the kidney. When you don't have the same size of the kidney, you can't take same amount of protein. He's saying that that guy is taking 100 grams of protein, I'll also take 100 grams of protein, because that guy is 6 feet and 100 kgs, he can take 100 grams of protein. If you're 5'2" or 5'3", if you're 50 kgs, you can't take 100 grams of 100 grams protein per day. That is very bad. So you have to understand that the threshold for each and every individual is different. Same thing applies for men also. A 5 feet man can take same amount of protein as a hefty 6 feet man. So it all depends upon your kidney, your body habitus and your age as well. Because what happens is, once you cross 50, the filtration capacity of the kidney naturally comes down. This is called, we call in medical language, we call it as CKD of aging. Okay. So when you top it up with, protein intake
More
and this thing,
overload.
yeah, it's going to do more bad.
To sum it up, before you start taking any supplement, please ask, do I really need this? Is my body going to thrive on more supplements, or is moderation the key?
Well, moderation is the key. Balance is the key. Don't go for extremes. And balance, when you keep balance in life, whether it is work-life balance, in diet also, balance is very important. Even when you're exercising also, balance is very important. For everything, moderation is the key. And don't rely too much on supplements. You have very good natural source of uh, anything you want. Keep it protein or vitamins or micronutrients, any kind of micronutrients. Try to inculcate those things into your diet and stay away from supplements as much as possible. Your body really don't need supplements unless you're doing something extraordinary. Uh, and physical activity is very important. Balanced diet is very important, and hydration is also very important.